Good morning, guys. Megan Ingley, joined here by Eric Lacroix at Avs Morning Skate ahead of their home opener. We learned a couple things from the skate this morning and stayed for the Blackhawks skate as well. I guess some of the biggest things we've learned is the top line is going back to Drouin and MacKinnon and Rantanen, and so that top six will look similar to how we'd seen it before, and it looked like Georgiev was in the starter's net. So a couple of those things. What are your initial thoughts then for how the Avs look going into tonight?
But I believe Georgiev is the right thing to do, right? And we talked about that. Maybe Eustace could have gotten that game in San Jose, but he didn't, which is fine. And now, they had a day off yesterday. Obviously, they got in late from Seattle. I do believe today the rust will be shown a little bit, but maybe the counteracted. It's the home opener, right? So you're going to see maybe a little bit more oomph in their game, but I think it's the right thing to get Georgiev back in there and Drouin back on the top line. Like Coach Bedard said, it's a little different opponent, Seattle, right? Wanted to put 13 or MacKinnon with them, but now has the luxury to more run and gun game tonight. Chicago plays that style a little bit, kind of like the Avalanche, probably trying to make that rebuild look like the Avalanches, especially when you got Connor Bedard. So I do expect a great game from the Avalanche tonight, and like you said, it's a little bit of the same thing from the past three games, lineup-wise.
Past three games, they go 3-0 on the road. So we have two teams coming in with a potential reason to be a little bit tired. Chicago at the end of a long road trip. Avs get a day off in between, but they're also wrapping up their road trip. Where do you think the energy level is going to be for the Avs coming out the gate?
Well, believe it or not, from the fans, it's your home opener, and it is a fact. Listen, I was just arguing with someone, a former player, and then he was saying, no, it's not true. And I'm like, no, it is there. It is there. When you come back from a road trip, yesterday you have a day off, today it's an 8:30 start, you will feel sluggish. But to counteract it, it's the home opener. I do believe the fans play a big role. If the fans are rowdy and everybody's excited, and it's the Connor Bedard show this year, right? It's obviously they're visiting Ball Arena tonight, so I think the guys will be fine. But you better get the lead early, because if you fall behind, you're chasing the game, by the second and third period, you do feel it. Your legs are tired. It's not an excuse, it's reality. And then your body is just a little worn down from going to bed at 4 o'clock 2 days ago. It is a tough one.
From your experience as a player, when you're a team going into a tough building to play in with a team like the Colorado Avalanche that demands a lot of respect, I was talking to Seth Jones about this. If there's an awareness of who your opponent is and a respect that is there, that almost adds a little added motivation or incentive to want to be the team that makes the Avs lose their winning streak coming out of the season.
For sure, and those guys are 2-2, the Hawks coming in, right? They want to make a 5-game road trip on a winning note, make it 3-2. Then they go home against Vegas Saturday, I believe, for their home opener. And you got Connor Bedard, you got Seth Jones. They have good players, but you want to measure yourself against the best players in the league. So if you're Seth Jones, you want to measure yourself against Cale Makar, right? Because defenseman. If you're Connor Bedard, you've been watching Nate MacKinnon the last few years. You've been watching Mikko Rantanen, so you want to use those guys as measuring sticks, and then, so you're going to get their best game. And plus, we all know the Avalanche is a great team, and this is a young team, and nobody wants to get embarrassed. And I'm not saying that the Avalanche are going to win. They should win on paper. You have to play the game, but the last thing you want to do is go out there and not perform well. And if you don't, they can get ugly when you play against guys like Makar, MacKinnon.
Absolutely. I'll begin winding this down then. Jared Bednar talked about how there's another level for the Avs to unlock.
Yep.
And they've been building the pieces together. The penalty kill has been great. Georgiev has been great. What do you want to see come through in tonight's game that you haven't seen come together quite yet?
Maybe I want to see plays like a 5-on-5 from maybe Jonathan Drouin. I want to see some production maybe from Tatar. I mean, Wood and Colton, they got that empty net goal, I want to say game one, right? But you want to see them maybe put one in the back of the net, get some momentum, some creativity together, see if, where they can take it. We all know they have another level, like you said. Ryan Johansson, 5-on-5, same thing. Want to see those guys a little bit, kind of help out. And, it makes a big difference when you help out, and especially if the game's tied or you're chasing the game in San Jose, and it's not always MacKinnon, Rantanen, Makar. It's kind of nice to see guys, and that's why those guys are there, right? The secondary guys. So tonight would be a perfect night, especially introducing themselves to the crowd of Ball Arena. It would be a perfect moment for them to do that.
All right, well, we have a late night ahead of us, 8:30 puck drop, but we know it's probably going to be just a little bit later than that, so stay tuned for more coverage. We'll have on Twitter/X, YouTube, watch along. There's going to be so much coming your way. Be sure to follow DNVR Avalanche online to get all of it.